Greetings, kings, peace, kings, love, kings.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
How y'all doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing? Y'all right?
Can't complain. Even if I could, I would not. Makes no sense.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel you.
Hey,
Positive
Rich.
energy. Positive energy here.
Infinite
Peace.
Peace.
waters diving deep
Peace.
once again.
Hey, y'all trying to get us hit for copyright infringement? You know he copywritten
You
Oh,
can't copyright peace. Peace
disclaimer:
is
we do not own the rights to that phrase.
that.
copyright peace. They copyright everything now. You can't even say the no more.
Oh man. So the
Bro, you can't
top
even say I no more.
so the topic was pretty much how program are we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um Society is getting funnier, man. Like it's it's pure entertainment in a ignorant slash joyous slash rigid
Yeah.
slash philosophical slash
But
cynical way.
yeah.
You was waiting for this. Shaman, what's your thought?
Let me tell you something. Like society, and I'm going to speak from a shaman perspective, if you will. Cause that that's my calling right there. That's my destiny.
Shaman the Sheik. Shaman the Sheik.
Yeah. So basically, the earth is purging. She's purging. Mama is purging, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff coming up. You know, we're in the, as they say, the Pluto stage. Pluto is the planet of transformation. So a lot of the most inner parts of human consciousness is going to be coming up. So all the programming that we have been going through, that's going to begin to break apart because that programming runs deep. So what has to happen is Pluto is going to come in and go in the deepest parts of the consciousness of human beings and bring all that shit up and break it up for us so that we can finally see as a people and begin to look forward to our prosperity. Because I mean, we have over 400 years of this programming. So that's what's going to happen in this phase that we're in now. I mean, you can feel it. I mean, you can feel the actual energy of what's going on.
Is that why my heart is hurting, man? Like,
It's that
I had this pain in my chest for the past 3 days, King.
but, well, but not so much as an actual physical pain, but you feel more like a sense of sorrow, and you feel like a sense of like sometimes you want to actually go back into your hole and don't come out. That's
Absolutely.
what. Yeah, and I've been feeling. I mean, on top of my aunt dying, last week. So with that grieving, along with the worldwide conscious grieving. So I'm going through it over here, bro. So
My
uh,
condolences.
yeah, appreciate it. So all that is actually happening, stuff like that. So that's what's going on.
For the non-believers, though, how would you make that make sense?
For the non-believers, I don't care about them. They can go there. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Whoa, what's
Positive
that?
energy.
Positive energy.
I'll let brother Rich, if he so will, to give his input and commentary on that part.
Hmm. Well, I was
I
walking
know,
down.
bro.
Hmm. Well, I was walking down the street with the Lord Himself,
Hallelujah.
and I was by myself, and I was thinking about programming, and I was eating a tuna fish sandwich with bologna.
Hallelujah.
What?
And the light came, and the magnificent Lord said unto me,
Yeah.
"Hey," I said, "Yes, Lord." He said, "Give me some of that sandwich."
Yes, Lord. Is it pork?
Baloney.
No, actually, programming makes us baloney, right?
Hey.
Oh man, you guys crack
Yeah,
me up, man.
To be programmed. So is it natural to be programmed for a human being that's full of energy and life and flexible? Why would somebody want to be programmed or program somebody when we're so full of life and flexibility and spirit?
mm.
Are
Where
we?
does this programming coming from?
Are we? I mean, we drive
Yeah.
a box, we live in a box, we listen to a box, we watch a box. Shall I continue?
But we don't start out that way.
No.
We start out with this loving human being coming out of the woman, and it's full of life and it's ready for the world, so to speak, and it's so loving and it's embraced. And then all of a sudden, okay, it's a boy, put it in blue. It's a girl,
Yeah.
put it in pink. So programming starts right there. And it's really tyranny
Sorry.
to
Sorry.
force something on somebody. And then when they get 4 or 5 years old, hey, get in school. Hey, here's your Bible. Here's your Quran. Here's your Jewish rabbi. Here's your preacher. Here's your Catholicism. Then we programmed by school, then we programmed by religion. Do we ever get a breather from being programmed?
But
Mm.
at the end of the day, though, Rich, us as parents, we're the one doing the programming too. I mean, we're programming. We force feed that programming on our future generation.
Yes, yes, my brother, but you way ahead of me. That's where I was going. Well, I'll just get off right here and let you take
you,
over. No,
you see, you're always doing that, eh?
he's got to let everybody know he's a genius, right?
Yeah, yeah, right,
Nah,
right, right.
far from it, man. It's
That's why he says, man, I'm not gonna
Devastation.
put my picture up.
Yep.
I'm not gonna put my
And the
name. I'm just
Messiah.
gonna put a brain on
Yep.
there.
And
He just puts a brain on the screen so everybody know I'm Mr. Brainiac.
That's okay, right?
nah, man. I'm still learning, still learning. But continue though. I just wanted to say that.
No, but it's a valid point because that's how it perpetuates. Because the parent tells the child, and the child grows up programmed, and it continue to program.
Yeah,
You know, and it just perpetuates. And then and this has been going on for centuries, being programmed by religion, school, mathematics, science, and things was just pushed on us. Family institutions and all of these things. I mean, we've grown technically. Technology has grown, industry has grown, production has grown, but psychologically, we're still barbaric. We still can't get along because of this programming.
Okay, so with that being said, right? I mean, see, like it goes back to accountability for me, man. And we deflect a lot and we tend to look at other things a lot versus us, right? So knowing that we're aware of these things, how do we step forward to alter them? Do you plug the TV out? Do you stop listening to certain music? Do you make sure you control your energy? You control what you put into your temple, so on and so forth. Like, what is the steps? Do you follow a step? Do you have a ritual that you utilize, Rich?
Well, if there's a ritual or a step, that's another form of programming. Wherever there's steps is programming. Wherever there's a method, there's programming. Wherever there's a script, there's programming. So I think one needs to. The question is, how does one see that they are programmed? I remember when I was eating meat, I didn't like turkey. I ate pork, I ate all kind of meat and everything. But I didn't like turkey for some reason. Some people don't like certain birds, whatever. But on Thanksgiving, I ate turkey.
Oh
the bird,
man.
the bird's
Hey,
a word.
I couldn't wait to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. the carving of the bird, and And one day I looked at myself and I was like, I don't even like turkey, but just
Who's on
because
their
it's Thanksgiving,
Facebook?
I'm gonna eat this. That's when I started seeing that I was programmed.
Hmm?
When everybody is doing the same thing, and that everybody, we're being programmed on so many levels. You ever walk down the street on a national holiday and the street is empty and peaceful? I said, if it can be like this one day, it can be like that every day, even when we're working.
Mm.
But we're so programmed to when to be calm and when to be excited, who to hate, who to love. The TV program. That's why they call it a TV program.
You're starting to sound like a program right now because you're echoing.
I'm echoing? Well, I don't know why I'm echoing. The spirits is with me.
No, he's good on my side.
There echo?
No, you good on my side, Rich.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Nah,
I don't.
he's echoing on my side. I'm hearing the feedback like he's
That's
on
because-
Facebook and trying
That's
to
because
do the
that's
live.
because the aliens is outside your backyard, Jermaine. So static shot.
I can't, man. See, y'all in a joking mood, and it
No,
falls right into the video.
That's how we do it on here, bro.
Okay, is my volume okay or it's not okay?
You good, bro?
Okay, well, the point I was making is that we're so programmed on so many levels from birth.
I swear you're echoing, King.
You don't like that, huh, Jermaine?
Nah,
Okay.
it's annoying.
Okay, so Shaman, take over and let me change my earplug.
Okay. So we will always have, the Jews believe this. Yes, we're all programmed, but each generation, and we can see this pattern, each generation will have a messianic figure that will come up and always awaken the people somehow, some way. So people cannot necessarily awake on their own. During Brother Rich's generation, they had Malcolm X, MLK, and many other people to help awaken them. And even in you and our generation, Jermaine, we also had people that came and went, of course, that dropped jewels in us.
Check one.
To help us awake. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. To help us awake. So a sick person, how can I say this? A terminally ill person can't just get off the bed and start walking. They're too weak. Their blood levels is too low to even stand. They're going to need help. They're going to need assistance. And so it's going to take messianic figures to come and place the spark in our consciousness for us to awake. Like Tupac said, I may not change the world, but I will definitely be the spark that inspires people. And so MEN-talRollaDeK, that is that spark. It is that seed that we plant in young people's minds and other folks' minds, so that their programming might not happen that day, that month, that year, even 5 years. It might happen in 10 years. So as much as we want that deprogramming to happen instantly, unfortunately, nature doesn't work that way. I heard a mango tree takes 10 years to grow. 10 years to grow.
Never really paid attention to it.
But, like if a mango tree takes 10 years to grow, then How about people's consciousness, bro? Uh, and this is my own personal walk, and this is not to disrespect anybody else's walk, but I was a Christian for 10 years, and it took me over 10 years to get where I'm at today. Over 10 years. It wasn't supposed to happen right there because it'll be too mature. It'll be like GMO. You know what I'm saying? If I grow fish in 7 days, it's gonna might kill you. So our deprogramming, it's gonna definitely take a long time.
Don't we got to allow it though?
So I'm gonna tell you something. It's all about compatibility. And what I mean by that is, Jermaine, you might go and talk to someone and they don't get it. It doesn't penetrate. But when I go and say the same thing, it penetrates because that electrical charge is compatible with mine. So they awaken.
Is it really compatibility, or is the fact that certain people just block out certain people? Like, I've actually noticed too that, say for instance, like whosoever I have a relationship with, not all, but some,
Mm-hmm.
and if say I come like, yo, Shaman, the sky is blue, the earth is black, the sun is round, blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
because it's coming from me, you might feel some type of way, like, what? Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're rebelling, you're going against it, and then somebody comes to you and say the same thing, and you're like, you're sitting there like, interesting. And I'm sitting in the background looking at you with the illest eyes, like, really? No. Is that a part of compatibility? Like, what is what is that?
So it's part of time and compatibility. Like, it wasn't when you went to the person, it wasn't their time to see it. That's one. And then also, they just didn't resonate with you.
I be trying to stuff it down their throat, fam.
Right. I used to, you know what? I used to do that, man. I used to say, no, you're gonna take this goddamn belief, and that's the bottom line. But we have to be understandable. Like, it's just not their time, and also that person may not be compatible with what you see compared to other person. They're compatible, and it hurts sometimes. Like, damn, like I said it, the exact same thing. I was nice, I was cordial, I didn't disrespect you, and you didn't get it. But this person came along and started saying it real rough or whatever, and you somehow accepted it. Like, what the hell is that?
I mean, I used to be like that, but now it's all about protecting my energy, and I notice everything takes time, right? Like, we're so fixated on time.
Right.
So it's the time when you want to receive it. Like, everybody deems what they deem important to them, at whatever time they want it to be important to them. That's just what it is.
You see, we live in a 3D reality. So compared to if we were on like 5th, 6th dimension, where it's not by time, we can bypass time and instantly change lives. Instantly. If that makes sense.
But are we on time? Or we are programmed to believe in time?
No, we're on time. And this reality that we're in, 3 dimension, we operate in time.
The reason why I said that, I'm sorry. The reason why I said that is because if you follow the trails of our ancestors, their timing was different. It's more so based off the stars and the seasons versus the Roman time, which is I know our ancestors created a 24-hour period, but it's implemented by them. You know, like even the days of the week, like you can't even depict which day is the actual first day. Like there's so many different beliefs and
Yeah. I mean, it's still time, whether the Romans did it or the ancient Mayans did it. It's still time. We're still operating in 3 dimensions.
but what if it's one long day though?
Well, that wouldn't make any sense.
Why wouldn't it?
Because you have to basically go with what the word day means.
Okay.
You know, when we say day, and I mean honestly, it might be a little subjective depending on your culture. So like in some cultures, a day is literally 12 hours of daylight, and then like in Hebrew, you have day, yom, night, layla. You know, light, or, darkness, choshech. So you have different. So it's 12 hours apiece. 12 hours day, 12 hours night. But then you go to the English, and we're like, it's a 24-hour day that includes both day and night.
But you just proved my point to what I was saying about our ancestors. It's different, right?
But it's still time.
I understand that.
It doesn't like it doesn't matter like how each culture keeps time. We still grow old and we still die. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair enough. But
yeah.
to think about it, for you to say that it makes no sense and we're still on time, isn't that also a form of programming?
Yes, everything is programming.
I'm gonna be very antagonistic this live, bro.
That's fine.
Y'all about to deep dive, so
I got my flippers.
Let's go. I'm letting y'all know right now.
Let's deep dive right now.
Hey,
I got 2 air tanks.
I'm an Aquarius, so I'm the Aquaman, so I need none of those things. I'm good.
Aquaman is already ready.
I'm already ready. So we operate in space-time.
Explain, because I've never been. What do you mean?
Oh, yes, you did. No, I'm just kidding. We live in space-time. You know, everything is measured in space and in time. How long, how far away, how wide, how deep, how long, how et cetera, et cetera. That's how we measure things. Now, when you go beyond 3D, that's when it gets complicated, because people that live on the 6th dimension do not operate by time. They operate by consciousness. That's why when you go to sleep for 8 hours and you wake up, it's like, damn, that was fast. Because when you're asleep, you are not operating in time. When you're asleep, there is no time. It's just pure existence, eternity.
But I'm confused when it comes to things like that, because my programming could have me saying, hey, that don't make sense. You know, the same way I fight with this program every single day. Like, yo, y'all talk about January's New Year's, but when it's spring, and when spring comes around, everything is pollinated, everything starts growing again, life starts all over again. So January, there's still death, it's still frozen, trees are still grim, whatever. Like,
well, let me do how Richard does it. Well, think of it this way. See. You got you have you got four
Okay,
seasons.
let me finish it for him. See, you have thought, and then you have beyond thought.
You breaking up.
I'm breaking up now?
Yep, you're breaking up, brother.
This frequency on here, I don't know.
Okay,
Okay, that should
I
be
think you.
better, right?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. And I apologize to the platform and to the listeners. Sometimes things break down, folks. We're programmed over here. So, like Jermaine was saying earlier, he said it's hard for him to see some of these things because we are programmed in time. We have to wake up on time. We have to be at the job on time. And this is where panic and rushing comes from. If there was if we wasn't programmed on time, you would see nobody rushing. You would see nobody running. But time is a program. Time is a program in itself because time is like words. We are programmed by words and time. You say a word and somebody will snap on you. What you say about my mama? What you do this? And this program is a very, very sensitive thing when You're programmed to be sensitive at certain words. You're programmed to be sensitive at certain time. You ever be relaxed with somebody and you're just talking, then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock," and they just run off and leave you? You're programmed to do something at 10. And what does all this mean? This means that wherever there's a program, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Whenever there's a program, there's a path. A program is a path. It's like a script. Whenever something is being programmed, it's like a program is like there is someone getting programmed and there's the programmer. The programmer is programming someone for a specific reason, for a specific purpose. And that purpose is for the one program to be on a certain path. It's like the computer programmer programs that computer to be on a certain path. If this happens, then this. If that happens, then that. So there's a programmer and there's the one that's being programmed. So just like a computer is something that is programmed. It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have the feelings, and it's not flexible. It's built to do what it's programmed to do. So pro, being programmed has its place, but only in something mechanical, because all things mechanical has a path, and in that path you need thought. Thought is necessary in that path. So thought, programming, thought, the program, and the reason why it's being programmed, it's all has the same address, but it's all the address is mechanical. Now a human being is flexible, it's spiritual. It has it has insight, has intuition, has all these things. But society tries to program all these things. They try to program your emotions with television and the computer. Like this, love this. This is who to hate. This is who to like. Oh, hate OJ Simpson now. Oh, love OJ Simpson now. You know, oh, hate this person now because of this. And it never gives you time to look back and figure it out for yourself. So to be programmed, the action of being programmed, the programmer's action is to manage the program, the one being programmed perception. So when they manage your perception, like a billboard, like a commercial, like a religion, this is managing your perception. It manages your perception and programs you for control. It's a very deep thing, but they do it minutely. Just like when you're a child with television, they do it so minutely. By the time you're 14 and 16 years old, you're already programmed and ready to be programmed in school and college, and you just following along, and it just perpetuates. This programming is a mechanical process. I don't think it's necessary. Um, I don't think ultimately it's a good thing for a human being to be programmed, unless it's, on the job, training, something like that. But in terms of relationships with your woman, or relationship with yourself, or relationship with the universe or nature, uh, I don't think program has a place there. I mean, it shouldn't have a major place there. I mean, but to be programmed for your job, to do your job right, to fix a car, to learn how to play piano, you must practice, and it's a program there. Um, that's a good thing. Um, but in terms of a relationship, finding out who you are, and love can't be programmed. It can't be cultivated. A person must look deeply and look within themselves. When you look deeply within yourself, you can see you're being programmed or not. You can see the place of programming. Okay, it's okay for me to be programmed on the job. I have to learn the job. But it's not okay for me to be programmed when it comes to my lover, my woman, when it comes to me looking in myself, when it comes to me meditating. Uh, we should know the difference of this program. And time is necessary in a program, but time is not necessary when it comes to when you want to relax and when you want freedom and peace. That's why the vacation is timeless. When you get off vacation, if you work a job, you'd be like, wow, the time went so fast. But when you're on a job, one shift is like 1 week. So this program thing, we must we must see the difference. We must see where it's necessary, and we must see where it's not necessary.
Hmm.
Time is necessary. A program is necessary when there's a path. But when it comes to freedom and peace of mind, it's not a fixed point. It's something that you have to be free to see and embrace and learn from.
I got a question though. Um, Say I'm one of those young whippersnappers that really don't give two fudge of what you're talking about. I'm programming, I'm loving it, and what you're saying is not hitting for me. And who cares? You're outdated. You're my elder. Like whatever. Um, what's the next step? Like after you spew this and I walk away.
Well, it's like walking away from a nourishing river. You just missed out on some good water.
Says
But
who though? Because I could feel like you're programmed to do that. Like, okay.
right, exactly. So it doesn't matter what the person is saying, or what the person is not agreeing with. But what does matter is what the universe and nature is saying.
Okay.
This, you know, that's why people program each other. They want to control others to think and see it like them. But nature is neutral. Water is neutral. Water doesn't have a color. Oxygen doesn't have a color. But you either can see and work with oxygen, or be ignorant and die.
And but that's the thing though. Like we we're ignorant and we're dying. Um it's kind of like what I just stated about nature, and you just mentioned the same thing. We're fixated on January being the first of the year, pretty much, right? But nature proves otherwise. Nature said spring begins on the 19th of March. That's just common sense. Like, you know, the birth of everything. It's processing all over again. But we're still fixated on this man like programming. Um, and some of us are aware, which is kind of dangerous because we see it, but we don't care to get out of it.
Why does that happen? When somebody is looking, some people look at the rain and they be like, "Oh, that just messed up my day," and they go in the house and slam the door. Some people in the house see that it's raining and go outside and dance.
Yeah, because it's beautiful. I love the rain.
Yes, but some people, like you say, be like, "Oh, that's my elder. He's talking all of that mumbo jumbo again, man. Don't nobody want to hear no poetry. Don't nobody want to hear no kumbayas, man. So it's raining. Let it rain. It just messed up my day. Don't talk to me." And I slam the door.
So what
So
I'm getting from you is a limited mind puts limitation on everything they perceive, basically. To
yeah, well,
approach, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I mentioned that earlier. See, that's what managed perception does. See, that's what a program does. See, a program has no warm heart. A program has no compassion. A program doesn't care. So if I'm programmed, I don't have any mercy or sensitivity when it comes to awareness. Because if it's not according to my program, I'm upset.
How do you get somebody that thrives in chaos to pay attention that they're within chaos?
Well, like I said, there is no formula or method. It's like somebody that's on a programmed person is like somebody. It's a programmed person is like a bad habit that's been programmed to be a bad habit. I can't talk heroin out of somebody's vein. I can't talk the drug out of you. I can't give you a method and be like, follow this and you won't be a drug addict no more.
Man, mother, you beat the shit.
Yeah, and that's a good example. You can't beat sense into your child. Didn't I give you a whooping last night? I'm gonna have to whoop you again until you learn. It's like a man slapping his woman. She's just not gonna let you catch it a second time.
She's
So
smart up like Ike, like Turner did Ike.
so a program, a person must see. It's just like when I was eating meat, I hated turkey, but I ate turkey on Thanksgiving. And then one Thanksgiving, I said, wait a minute, I don't even like turkey, but I'm eating on Thanksgiving. Then I started to see that I was programmed. I said,
Because
I
that's
don't want
not
to
your
be like
thought.
you. Huh?
Because that's not your thought.
No, I seen it.
No, that's
See,
beyond thought.
you have to see the danger. A person has to see that it's dangerous.
Hmm.
Once they see that it's dangerous,
Yeah, exactly.
it just depends on um it's a matter of awareness, it's a matter of perception.
And you see, like Brother Rich was saying, there is no formula. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, Jermaine. Like, people who, like, for example, a brother who all he knows is street life. Thugging, niggatry. That's all he knows. We can't make him see the light. Like, it's he's gonna have to soften his heart by listening to like us, by our words, and that we put a in that sorry we put a spark in his heart to soften it. But if he don't see it and he don't get it, that has nothing to do with us. If he dies without getting it, that has nothing to do with us. It has all to do with him. That's a reality. That's something that people may not want to hear, but just like in the Bible, I'm not going to sound religious, but
Biblios? You
yeah,
reference
Biblio,
Biblios? Okay.
yeah, just, just like Mr. Jesus has said, and I am a firm believer, and I'm not even a Christian. He said, "Those who will come to me, sorry, those who are destined to come to me will come to me." So while we have mental Rolodeck, those men and even the women who are destined to hear this word and change their lives will happen. Those who do not, that's on them. Maybe 5 years down the line, they'll remember our words and then they will awaken, or they might not awaken.
I'm not looking
Because,
for a program per se. To be honest,
mhm,
I know what it is. I'm just giving it to you from another perspective of a person that's unaware, that's not
Right.
on that frequency.
Yeah.
Because we are vibrational, and I understand like it has to resonate with you. I don't care how supposedly woke you are or how bad you want it, whether you want that instant gratification. If you're not on the frequency, you're not on the frequency.
So that being said, when it comes to vibrate, see, a person that's unaware has a vibration, and a person that is aware has a vibration.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Why is the person has a vibration that's unaware, and the person has a vibration also that's aware? It's a matter of energy. That's why positive energy changes things. When you change a person's environment, when they go through life with not much conflict and much complication, their energy is high. That's positive energy. Positive energy changes the drug addict to put down the crack pipe. Positive energy changes the person who couldn't see now can see. Positive energy changes the person who doesn't want any fellowship with the elder that's trying to tell him some give him some insight. Positive energy changes that person to listen. But but man creates programming because he doesn't want to make himself accountable and look into himself deeply. To increase energy, you must look into yourself deeply. So he creates conditioning, which causes program. And what is that conditioning? That conditioning is reward and punishment, pleasure and fear. If you keep doing that, I'm gonna hit you until you stop doing it. There's no learning in that. The person will stop doing it, but only because the not to feel the pain, but they haven't learned why. So when you're around positive energy and you don't have a lot of bills and debt and conflict around your life and complications, your positive energy is high to where you can where you won't allow anyone to manage your perception. You'd be like, what are you trying to tell me? I can see this. But a person under stress and pressure and pain, this is why they latch out to religion and cults and groups and gangs. So positive energy, it changes everything. If you take the person out of the game and put him and start showing him that somebody loves him and love matters and he matters, the gang will slowly leave him. He will slowly leave that gang psychologically. This all has to start psychologically first. But it's like putting a clean glass next to a dirty glass. You put that in front of them. See,
yeah.
they'll see the difference. Most people that's programmed and won't change, they can't see the difference because all they've seen all their life was a dirty glass.
So, to Shaman point, anger begets anger, ignorance begets ignorance, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So it's kind of like the choosing of the pills per se. You take this one, you stay within your normalcy, you resonate with people that you naturally resonate with, and you take this one, you see things for what it really is, and you understand you can go beyond that form of what it actually is.
Well,
Shaman.
I'm sorry, say it again, bro.
Man, I just said a mouthful.
he will rewind.
Rich, go
I'm
ahead. I
sorry.
think you caught it. You're
I
fine,
was
bro.
deep. I was deep sea diving. Sorry.
That's cool, bro. Don't chew too fast. Go ahead, Rich. Hey, Rich, welcome, by the way, King.
I think he's on mute. He's on mute.
He's fine.
somewhere. But he's there. I see him there.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah, he could
No,
probably hear.
no, Jermaine. What was the like? What was your main point exactly?
My main point was it's like I was saying, it's kind of like what you were stating earlier. Anger begets anger. If you
Uh-huh.
doesn't resonate with that frequency or willing
Yeah.
to take on that frequency, it's kind of like a teaching that Abraham Hicks does, right?
Okay.
She states that, all right, try to hold a positive thoughts for 6 seconds. If you can do it for six, you can do it for seven. If you can
Uh-huh.
do it for seven, you can do it for 10. If you can do it for 10, you can do it for like 17. Right?
Sure.
You hold it for 17, you go up 20, so on and so on and so on, right? And the longer you hold that positive vibration, the quicker your frequency change, right?
Okay.
So, and you will change what you're going through at that particular time. And a hard reset would be for you to go to sleep, pretty much,
Mhm.
right? To start it all over again. So my point is, people can actually make that indent immediately if they choose it to be so.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Rich touched on something that I wanted to also explain to the audience, where he said, and also you said it too. You know, positive energy makes a change. Now, there is an exception. We have free will. There is always an exception, and we can actually manipulate energy. So we don't have to sit there and wait until somebody finally get it. If we know how to manipulate the energy around us, then we can make them change fast. How do I know this? Well, it's basic physics. Also, there is something called the Maharishi effect, where you have people that would meditate in a specific location, and it's been proven that crime, domestic violence, and all types of stuff decreases based off their meditation. So rather than waiting for, excuse me, rather than waiting for Miami to finally get their shit together, they're going to go ahead and send down 5,000 meditators to meditate their shit together. And this has been done in Washington D.C., Chicago, Beirut, Lebanon, different cities around the world, and they show that crime went from 70% down to 20%, all because they were manipulating energy through meditation.
But in order to do all of that as well, you have to be tapped in. You got to be on that frequency. Like, say, Rich, you, and myself, we got to be on that same page. Like, we do it in blips, though. Like, you see when you go outside, sometimes we have little minor deja vus. It's like, oh, I just thought that, and look, boom, it just happened. Or you thought of someone, and within a couple seconds, a person call you. Or you meet up with your significant other, and with meeting up with them, all of a sudden it's like they just finished your last sentence, or they're what you were thinking, they spoke out on it. So we get it in blips, but it's how to get it on a grand scale, pretty
But
much.
the grand scale is nature. That's why, I mean, you guys know me, but for the people that's listening, I always greet myself with, always give greetings with positive energy. I say positive energy. Or if I'm texting you, I introduce myself as positive energy because positive energy is what eliminated my depression and me being suicidal at one time. And psychologically, it eliminated my issues, and biologically, positive energy eliminated my high blood pressure and borderline diabetes and tumor and all the other things that was wrong with me and my obesity. So I always say positive energy. And why am I saying this? Because positive energy is health. It's something that it has no beginning and no end. It's something that can't be programmed because it's a continual movement. If it gets programmed, it becomes static. And so this is why You can have people in your life that drain your energy. This is why we get sleepy, because sleep is recharging. Like Shaman said earlier, when we're sleeping, we're in another dimension, and that's positive energy. That's why it seems so short. It's just like when you're having a good time, you'd be like, wow, it's over already. This positive energy is the sunlight, is the stars. But like I said earlier, if you're under stress and pressure, if the baby doesn't have diapers and food, if your girl is hollering at you and the landlord is threatening to kick you out, how can I pay attention to the sun? How can I pay attention to my inner being? How can I increase my energy when everything around me is draining my energy? Positive energy is always with you. I don't care how bad things are, they are never bad as it is. It's never bad as it is because of positive energy. And no matter how things are going great, it's never as good as it is because of positive energy. Because we're programmed to live on a path. Okay, I'm 4 years old. Let me go to kindergarten. I'm 17 years old. Let me graduate. I'm 21 years old. Let me graduate from college. Okay, I'm 30 now. Let me get married. See, we create this path, and where there's a path, there's a program, and where there's a program, there's conflict. Because if you don't do this at a certain age, and the parent doesn't help because they say you're 17 now, go out there and get a job. Okay, now go out there and do this. Go out there. And they just on a path and they don't even know why. People follow this path of religion. And I talk to Christians, and it 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 baffled me because I realize a lot of Christians don't even read the Bible. I know the Bible better than these Christians that's telling me to be a Christian because they're
Fact.
programmed just to go to church and not learning. So what I'm saying is actual learning takes place in positive energy. Positive energy is when you're in a state to where your inner being is you're having a relationship with your inner being, and that relationship knows the difference between the voice of your thoughts and the voice of your heart.
With that being
When
said,
Go ahead.
which one is more prominent? I know both is required, but within the Egyptian text, the Egyptian said the brain is kind of useless. It's not required. The true one is which is our heart. And I kind of stand by that perspective to a sense, because anything you desire to change within yourself starts with the perception of feeling. You have to feel it, right? Before it to actually come into fruition. You feel it, then act upon it.
Yeah, the heart is holistic with the universe and nature. The heart is normally your first voice. But
Okay.
if I'm under conflict, if I'm getting threatened and bills need to be paid, I can't listen to my heart. I'm listening to thoughts and a path and a program.
Hmm. So that's why we stay in our heads.
That's why we perpetuate the ghetto. We perpetuate this. People can't stay married. It doesn't discriminate. The poor man is just as programmed as the rich man. The rich man can't stay married, and he can't keep his head together and caring about somebody. The poor man, he can see it. He has patience, but his patience is wearing thin because he can't get out of debt.
Funny thing though, right? Since you're speaking about program, and then we speaking on frequency. We're programmed at such a high frequency that we're pretty much handicapped to the change, because hundreds of thousands of individuals on the same frequency.
Yes, that means that you are the world, Jermaine. Shaman is the world. Mike is the world. We are the world. We all why are we the world? Because we interconnected when it comes to common sense.
Yep.
Look, we all have a common sense to observe, to love, observe, learn, protect, and survive.
And
If I slap Shaman's child and I slap Mike's child and I slap Jermaine's child, I'm gonna get the same reaction from all three of you. You're gonna check me and you're gonna protect the child. That's common sense.
oh, you Oh, my child slapping you back, and I'm gonna tell you to stand there and take it too. Like, yeah,
you devil, you.
fix your chin. Yeah,
One more.
he gonna slap you, and I'm gonna slap you. It's
There
gonna
you
be
go.
it's gonna be a beginning to an end. I'm the
It's gonna
closer.
be it's gonna be a big problem. So you don't need a program for that. That's common sense. Programs take us away from common. Our heart is common sense. Common sense is religion. Common sense is spiritual because common sense simplifies the complicated. Common sense shows you where religion is wrong. Common sense shows your woman where she's wrong, shows you where you're wrong about your woman. Common sense shows you what's the program and what's not. But I can't use my common sense. I'm maladjusted to common sense if I'm under pressure and stress all day.
Mm.
That's why it's by design that the people in the ghetto live close together and always stay in debt. It's always some scheme to get you a loan and for you to. They don't want you to look within because you will reject the program.
Yeah.
That's why every house gotta have a TV program. Now everybody has a cell phone and a computer. Now you have to be programmed by that. You can't look at anything without an advertisement coming up. You can't drive anywhere without seeing a billboard. Eat these wings. Eat this by Popeye's new chicken.
It's working too because realistically, what they're attacking is your subconscious.
Yeah.
You know, you can't defog your subconscious while your consciousness is awake. You got to do it when you're asleep. And through the subconscious is where the program actually stays. It's like a supercomputer. You know, it's man.
It's so super. It's so super. It's that, you know, if you really look at it, that's why this platform is really good because we're giving people a chance to really see. See, when you show some people look at a billboard and they just be like, oh, that's another billboard. That's another advertisement. Oh, another commercial. Once they start to think now, listening to us, I'm not saying that we created, the open people's minds, but the next time they'll look at something, they'll be like, hey, that's trying to program me.
Mm-hmm.
See, once a person is looking at something and they say, hey, Shaman, that guy Shaman, that thing right there, that commercial is trying to program me. That guy Jermaine, I was listening to their show and that commercial is trying to program me. So I'm gonna, when I don't watch TV, I don't even own a TV. I own a computer and desktop and that. But I hate that programming, that television program. But when I do watch television, if I'm watching a sports game, I don't watch any of the commercials. I don't watch any of the. I never pay attention. If I had I don't have kids, but if I had a kid, I would not let them watch commercials. I would not let them watch any commercial that has a phone number on it. I would not let them watch television until they learn how to read.
What do you think? What do you think is happening when you walk in the store, though?
Oh, you get bombarded.
It's the same thing. See, they put the aisles within, say, a Walmart is stacked a certain way to get you to spend a certain quantity of money. The store, you think like, oh, it's just a typical setting. No, it's not set up. It's structured to appease to this, to get you to think. Like, how many times you walk into the store and it's like, oh, you walked in there for one thing, you walked out with like 10 items.
Oh, and then when they get you to work, because the store works so many ways, especially a supermarket. They want you to eat bad. I mean, if you old as me, since I'm the old elder on the panel here,
mature, King. Mature.
There was a time you could walk in a supermarket and there was no pharmacy in there. They got a pharmacy in the supermarket now because they know if you eat that food in there, you're gonna need the pharmacy.
Robotism.
And if you don't get enough sugar while you're shopping for your food in the supermarket, they make sure that the aisle you're waiting in is filled with sugar.
Hey, get your sodas, get your candies, get your gum, get your whatever. I don't even chew gum. Oh man, it's blissful, man. It's blissful. Ignorant bliss.
And so I say to anybody that's listening that wants to be that looks at themselves and want to be deprogrammed, who doesn't want to be deprogrammed, because we're tired of doing the same. We're tired of this rut of being in the same routine. So you must have a quiet time or a quiet place.
What you're
Even
saying
a,
is pseudo, Rich.
yes,
What
but
you're saying is pseudo.
but look, even a job that's taking your energy, draining your energy, and making you work for them, being an extension of somebody's ideas, give you a break. You must give your body and your mind a break every day. Some quiet time. I don't care if it's 1 minute. That minute will turn into 5 minutes and then 15 minutes. And then the universe and your heart will start to talk to you again. The heart is always speaking order. Thought is always thinking, trying to control order and program you. That's why every advertisement is catering to your thoughts.
Here's a
Every
crazy thing.
single. Go ahead.
Um, we're kind of out of sync today, but it's purposely being done. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me.
Center.
No, bro. It's called how we program.
Yeah, it's the Holy Spirit. We are moving by the unction.
To most people, this is pseudo. To most people, this is a blind viewpoint. It's always cut. It's always dry because they don't go beyond thought, right? It's not appeasing to them. It's not BET. It's not controversial. It's not gossip. It's
yeah.
I used to look at my kid's mom. I used to look at the Queen and say, "Why do you watch this love and hip hop crap?" And she used to be like, "Oh, it's just a show." And I'm like, "No, because it's just a show for you, but when you're no longer watching it, you reflect everything that you saw on there onto me through not only your thoughts, but your actions." Never said that out loud because a happy wife, happy life, right? We programmers believe that shit too. But yeah, it's crazy because everything we see and we receive from somebody else, we try to push it onto the other person. Like today I saw a post and that joint tripped me out because I didn't knew it. I didn't know that. The post said, "I bet you guys never knew that recess was mandatory for the actual teachers. It was never for the kids." And I was like, "What? I thought recess was for us." But naturally, it was for the teachers, for them to get a break. Did you guys know that?
What year?
What day? What day did that happen, Jermaine?
Right. What year?
Yo, that shit is happening up to this day, bro.
Because as far as I remember, recess meant kids go and the teachers can go and breathe.
But through the programming, it was actually made for the teachers. You're thinking you're getting a break naturally that belongs to you, but it wasn't for you. They just went along with it. It's kind of like a drug dealer on the corner trying to alleviate the competition. So, Shaman, you're selling your ounces for $50 a pop. How can I beat you? I got it. I got it for. Now, this is just an example, bro. You got it for 50. Guess what? I got it for 30. It's Blue Magic. I got it for 30. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna smash you as my competition. And you're thinking like, yo, he's an idiot. Like he don't know what it is. And I'm looking at you like, bro, I just took 20% off.
Nah, man, bro. I got the uncut, bro. What you talking about, man? Come on now, Thailand.
See, now you acting like a program individual.
I'm programmed. I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna tell you something. Rich said this. Basically, he always say positive energy. A All animals, including humans. Well, I'll put animals for change.
We're animals too, King. Keep go ahead.
Yeah, but there's more to that part.
Yeah, it's a deeper, darker criminal link. Keep going.
Deep criminal. Um, they will not lay eggs unless the conditions are perfect. They will not bust the eggs. They would, as a matter of fact, many animals will not even have sex unless the natural conditions are perfect for that. Unlike us, they just can be shooting outside. We in there having sex. It can be a war outside. We have pop babies out. Conditions good or not, but we don't understand the consequences when you're under stress. We'll see. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced the stresses of war. You know, I have because I was born and raised in a very dangerous projects, and they did a study. People who are born like in projects area and it's bad, they have the same effects as a soldier on the battlefield. And so, and it's called like I believe combat stress syndrome or combat stress response, something like that. And we are here having babies and doing these things, and those babies have biological issues because of that stress, because the conditions aren't perfect to produce life,
Preach, brother, preach.
you know? And, you know, I still have PTSD to this day because, what I've experienced living in the projects, people, getting shot on my porch, dying on my porch, dead bodies, it's everything. That shit still, like I mean, hell, a thunderstorm. Guess where I'm at? Under the damn table. Because that shit is serious, man. Like you born and raised in the projects, and that stuff happened, and there is no conditions for you to produce life. It's going to affect you. You know.
That's a beautiful point. He he really answered that well because that positive energy. Why do salmon swim upstream when it's so easy? A salmon is a not a small fish. It's a big fish, and all he has to do is follow the stream and keep living and keep doing what it does.
It's not the
But
right
it
way.
goes against current. When it's spawning, it goes against the current, and this is a big fish.
Mhm.
It's the fish is so big that when the bears try to catch it jumping upstream, the bears have to get leverage because the bear fall over into the stream. But this salmon struggles to go upstream because it has to go to the condition to where it can keep its positive energy and heritage going. This is what black people need to look at. This is what all men need to look at, but especially black people, because we never go against the grain that's going against us. And that salmon goes against the current and he goes upstream and he spawns and it continues his heritage. We must refuse to feed the beast. We must refuse to be programmed so our heritage can be just as strong as it used to be. This programming, we joked around this. We joke around a lot because brothers, we love each other, but we are serious too.
Mhm.
But this programming, we must be like the salmon going against the current
Yeah.
because because that's what we must do to keep our sanity. This is why the ghetto perpetuates
Mhm.
because everybody there is programmed to pull each other down if one gets out.
But that's what I said on the last live. It's you got to look at it like if I don't have a means to an end, I'm gonna come take yours. And when the resources dry
Yeah,
where
that
I'm
man.
at, guess where I'm going? I'm going into the prestigious neighborhoods and take theirs because you didn't give me a means.
And then
And
Right,
ask
but
yourself this question. Sorry, ask yourself this question. Like a person can look up. I don't care if he's in Dallas, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, or even goddamn Compton, California. Every time you look up and you see Martin Luther King Boulevard and look down, guess where
you already
you
know.
at?
You already know.
Projects, the hood. So they are likening your positivity to negativity.
Yes, you're being programmed to be in that ghetto. I mean, every time you see somebody with their pants hanging down, that's a program you're looking at.
I never get
Hmm.
that, bro. But to me, like in Georgia, it's a different kind of hanging down. Like when I was living in New York, it's like okay, dudes sag, but in Georgia, man, dudes would drop their joint to their knees and walk with just their boxes. I'm like, what the?
See,
I'm
it started.
conflicted when I see it. I'm like, wait, you might as well walk outside with your drawers on if you're gonna do that. That's how bad it
Yeah,
is, Rich.
but see, their awareness in New York, their in New York, the awareness is stronger than it is in the South because you
Yeah,
have more culture there, you have more diversity there.
Man,
yeah. That's a fact. Rich, he's stating the fact because I'm on the East Coast too, and in New York, let's see, New York, Jersey, and Maryland, we all share the same culture, and all that SAG and stuff, it all started over here, but the South took it to a whole nother level to where they're unconscious of it. We are conscious because we know. I mean, we pretty much started it over here in a sense, but the South, like you said, down in Georgia, they got shit hanging down way down to the damn ankles because they don't know what the hell is going on.
but
And
look at this.
that's the ultimate program because they don't even know why people are doing it. They just take,
But look at
they just
this.
take something and do it.
And every time I see it, guess what comes to mind?
Homosexuality?
No, I don't walk around judging people, bro. Do whatever your vice is, knock it out. This what comes to mind.
Hmm.
Picture a catastrophic situation where, say, this is just common sense. Say somebody starts to shoot, and your
Hmm.
joint is hanging down at your knees. How you gonna run? That's just basic common sense.
That's like asking a
But
woman if he had on heels.
that just confirms the point we made earlier that there's no common sense in something programmed.
Mm, damn.
Hey,
If you
Rich.
if you tell the people there is no common sense in something that's programmed, they will not. They will see. They will try to. They will look at themselves as I'm not going to be programmed.
Hey,
Mm.
man. This live is going the way it is because we want to actually reflect just what we're talking about. Every single one that we have done reflects the topic. So y'all might see us laughing, and I might cut in and out and think it's purposely being done so y'all can get the sense of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is organic. And through organic, you will see how we vibe in the frequency that we're on. Most people is like, yo, it's stupid. I don't have time for that. But guess what? You may not have time now. I give you a week, give you a month, give you a year, like Shaman indicated earlier. And it's gonna be like, oh my, yo, really? Yo, these dudes are, yeah. Continue, fellas.
Well, that's
Hmm.
why the sunrise. That when the Earth is turning and it exposes the sun, we're programmed to say that's the sunrise. The sun is not rising.
Because it doesn't fall.
Yeah.
The, the
Changes
Earth is
location.
turning. If you concentrate on the sunrise, you will miss what the earth and the sun is saying.
Mm.
They don't want you to be. They want you to be programmed.
But it's not
Me,
even.
you, and me, you, and Shaman. This is not a program. This is. We're talking without a script. We're
Facts.
interacting without a plan. We have a topic to expose something.
We are like the talk and the real, but on a more positive note.
Yes, we want to open minds. We want you to think and look at it deeply. Well, we all come from different. We don't agree on everything, but we have different perspectives. We have our energy is together, but it's functioning in different areas. But it's
That's a
all.
lie.
But the root of it is there.
That's a damn lie. When rich talk, we agree on every damn thing.
Because he pays me.
but
Agents.
zero. but the crazy thing is, we don't even take the time to examine the plants within our garden or the plants outside of our house, or walk up to the tree and look at the different texture and enjoy the color, or look at the different profound things that's happening. You got ants going up and down, you got the squirrel jumping back and forth. Like, we don't even enjoy nature. We're so far
Hmm.
away from it.
Blame the system for that. For well, the system is part of it, if you will.
But look,
Uh,
when you go in a building of an establishment or a corporation, do they
hmm.
have windows where the sun shine on you? Is anybody aware that sun gazing is a thing?
Oh yeah, I do all the time.
Anybody is aware that you should walk outside barefoot in your yard sometime, because every element that's within the earth is within you, and you need to ground yourself?
The soles of your feet is the healing. You should get a massage from the soles of your feet to the top of your head.
Yep.
The feet should be touching every day. Your feet should touch the earth, the bottom of your feet. This is why we wasn't born naked. We was born natural.
Hmm.
Natural. The feet should. That's why the feet and the bottom of your hands should be the same tone. That's how you know how healthy you are.
Hmm.
And your
And you
tongue
got to be in
reflects
touch.
your interior, which is your insides, your organs.
And you have to
FYI.
be in touch with this nature because what Jermaine was saying, that's awareness. That's awareness. You must be aware of your nature and your surroundings. That this is where you come from. You come through your parents, but you come from nature. You go back to the earth. But we programmed, there go that word again. We're programmed to look at life superficially. We're
Yeah.
so superficial that we don't know that everything that we love and Jermaine, Shaman, and Rich, they talking all that bull. Everything they're trying to go after is from the ground and going back to the ground.
You talking that pseudo shit.
They're talking
Talking
all that
that
stuff. It's,
that
it's but it's
religion.
really, we want you to look at it deeply because the one who's aware, the one who has awareness, cannot be programmed.
Yeah, and they cannot, and they can't stop people like that, and you cannot stop revolutionary ideas. It's eternal until it is fulfilled.
Whoa. So there's a purpose to me not wanting to be controlled. There's a purpose to me taking left when somebody's telling me to go right, and my heart is say, go left. There's something left for you. It's all purpose. So when people tend to get mad when they can't control or dictate my moves or even depict what I'm doing, they're like, oh, I can't figure you out. Not a puzzle.
Well, that's what school is for. They put all these kids in school so they can. School is not to see the school. The system wants to see which kid can be programmed and which one can't.
Come on, there it is.
That's why they give you tests.
Miss Pap and all that other nonsense.
And
They
the,
even
Damn.
they
He
even
just.
created they even created the IQ test to
But,
minimize
but,
the so-called black man's
but,
intelligence.
did you hear what Rich just said? He just dropped the ace of spades to five of clubs.
Full house?
It was a full house of Rich. Did you hear what he just said? Like,
No, repeat. I'm programmed not to listen. Go ahead.
hey yo,
as the world
oh
is turning,
man.
as the world is turning, you must be aware of that. That the sunrise, be aware that the earth is turning and everything is coming from the earth and going back into the earth.
Man, gems, jewels.
But this is why they say it's better to bury people directly into the earth and not put them in caskets because
The earth is turning, the earth is in touch with your heart. As the world
yeah.
turns, as this thing is going on, you
Mhm.
see you won't be programmed. Your body won't even allow your energy won't even allow you to be programmed because you will see the danger before it coming. Your perception cannot be managed.
I it's funny you said that, and what you just said made me think of this. I recommend y'all, if y'all haven't seen it, and our audience to watch the what you call that, the Divergent series, because the Divergent is about people who are in some sort of a caste system. Like if you are a musician, you are only a musician, etc., etc. Then you had the Divergent who could fit in all five castes, which makes her what? Free. And you can't stop a Divergent. You cannot, because a Divergent can influence any of the elements. And society literally will hunt people like that down. And so people like us who are free, who are divergent, we are divergent. We don't fit in just one element. We fit in all elements, which makes us free and whole. And they
Exactly.
don't want, yeah, and, and they don't want that. The powers that be don't want that. And when I say powers that be, I'm talking about powers that are off planet, non-human, and that's just my belief. I'm sure the others may not hold to that belief, but that's what I feel. There are beings out there who don't have any type of compassion, love, and affinity towards human beings, and so they have to keep us in this one fearful cage, and they will try to stop all divergence.
We couldn't be on a better topic because the reason why the black man can't get along with the black woman and the white man can't get along with his white woman, or one person is at war against another person, is because of their program.
Hmm.
When you're clear, there's no problem. When there's fellowship, there's no problem. But if I'm programmed from day one, I'm soon as they see that it's a boy, they putting them in blue. Soon as they see it's a girl, they're putting her in pink. What if I'm a boy that likes pink?
Ha ha.
Bingo,
Ha ha.
hot by the bean,
But my favorite color is blue though. But pink,
checkmate.
but pink actually calms you down on a vibrational level and allow you to think much clearer.
Really?
Yes, color has vibrations and they do certain things to you. Like red indicates power.
Yeah, red gets me going. Like what?
No, seriously, like pay attention to these. Everything has a frequency and everything does something to you.
You know what calms me down? Green,
That might be the color you're in tune with.
earth. Green. I walk
Well,
in the jungle and I'm at home.
we Earth is turning. Everything comes. The Earth and nature has colors. You can't paint a. You can't. You can get the best artist on the planet, the best painter. He can't he can't paint it like the earth gives you these colors.
Nah.
Because there's not enough colors that man created to actually adapt to those colors.
Nah.
But it's so deep. It's so
It's
deep. It's so deep, Kings, that even in diet, all the things that's green is good for your blood and is good for your blood. All things that's yellow is good for your digestion.
and your blood is fire.
Yeah, your blood is your health. So all green things have iron, and blood
Yeah.
is an iron. See, these colors matter, like Jermaine said. There's nothing the earth does. Earth does everything for a purpose, for a good purpose. It's just like the body. Oh, we got to take out the appendix. We got to take out the kidney. All those things have a purpose.
Like what? Take out your tonsils. What? Why?
Yeah.
It's gonna help you not to snort.
Take out your
What?
take out your wisdom teeth. It's called wisdom teeth because if you grow old with them, it keeps you electric with your pineal gland.
What are you talking? What?
What? Pineal gland? I don't pee out my gland.
No. Whoa.
That's what people say. But
What you said? The wisdom tooth? What?
there's teeth in the back of your jaw. It's
Mm-hmm.
four of them.
Mm-hmm.
They normally say, well, you got to get your wisdom teeth taken out because it affects the jaw, that messes up your teeth and all these things. But if you have a correct diet and you keep these teeth, your vibration with your pineal gland, see, the body is electric. And
Damn.
the teeth is important. Everything in your body is important. But the body evolves. It doesn't, we put time and age on the body, but we are evolving.
Yeah.
So we don't there's no death. At one we just have forms. At one form we was an egg in the mother's womb, in the mother's tube. At one form we're living in water, actually in the mother. We're living, and then we die to water and we come into living in oxygen. We in blood in the egg, we're in water in the mother's womb, and we're in oxygen when we come out of the womb. And that's the health of the body. Blood, oxygen, and water in the blood.
4 elements, right? But you're missing one.
No, the three elements of health that's in the blood is blood, oxygen, and water. Now, the wisdom teeth is in the back, where the pineal gland is right is right near the pineal gland in an angle. Now, there's no right angles in the body. There's no straight lines in the body. There's no right angle in the universe. There's no straight lines in the universe. There's no right angles in nature. There's no straight lines in nature.
Says who? Scientist says no. Says scientist said there's
It's a
straight
fact.
lines.
Just look.
There are no straight lines, bro.
Hey, you ain't gotta convince me, man. I'm with you guys. We're deep diving. I'm there.
These like, why do they call them wisdom teeth? Because they know that there's a connection. There's an electrical connection there. It's just like your nervous system. The nervous system is a conduit. It doesn't secrete anything like glands and anything like that. It to keep you electric with your spinal cord and your brain, with electricity that you put in your body and outside the body. That's how deep it is. There's nobody should be taking anything out of your mouth. You should be healthy and keep all your teeth. I still have all my wisdom teeth, and I wouldn't even let the doctor take them out. Every time I went to the dentist, they try to take out my wisdom teeth. Why are they doing that? Every time when you go to the doctor, they're trying to give you high blood pressure medicine. Why are they doing that? Why are they programming us to listen to them and not ask any questions? And we wonder why that we work, we pray, we go to school, we read books, and nothing's still working for us. We're still arguing and we can't come together.
I'm trying to figure out why you close your eyes when you pray.
Why do you even look up when you pray when God is in you?
Church.
Another thing, why do you go on your knees when you pray versus being in a fetal position like you were when you were in your mom?
It's because of the Rolodeck topic. You're programmed to go to your. They want you to be programmed in submission and suffering. Oh, Jesus suffered so much. You got to suffer in life. While they're
Dear
in the
Lord.
king's castle counting their gold and silver.
While people think they're not deserving. That's the crazy thing to me. Like
They'll
you're
say
supposed to
they
be feeling
programmed.
pain. Like you're supposed to be feeling pain. Like you're not supposed to be happy. You're
Oh, they
supposed to be happy.
they're so programmed on this pain and suffering thing. No pain, no gain. Jesus suffered, and why the people that's conditioned and programming you, they're in the castle counting the gold and silver. Oh,
Preach, preach. And you know
oh,
what? I tell people, I always tell people, they out here wearing crosses, talking about, oh, it gives me life. I'm like, first of all, the cross is a symbol of death. You are in a death cult. So don't tell me the cross give me life. No, that's a instrument of death. But they
The
don't know that. They don't know that
this
though.
this
they
gives you
they
this gives you
program.
life. The unk is different. That's not the cross.
But you see when something is not straight. You see what the cross is? The cross is nothing but two straight lines and right angles.
And actually represents the penis.
But still, there's no right angles or straight lines in your body and nature and the universe.
I get that. But
Yet the
for
cross
them,
is that.
it's an obelisk.
And you wonder
The,
and you wonder why
the
you
cross.
wonder
Yeah, it's an obelisk, bro. It's a giant penis standing on top of the church.
First of all, who said that he died on the cross? You
Bro,
know?
all of those are parables. You also have to look at it as well. If you go look at like study Baphomet versus saying, oh, it's the enlightened ones, it's evil. Study Baphomet. It's masculine and feminine. It breaks down all the chakras. It breaks down the female and it breaks down the male. But we're so unaware and not used to doing work. We're used to other people thinking for us. And this is
well, say
why
the word. Say the word, Jermaine. We're programmed.
we're programmed. So, and it's the same thing. And it's the same thing. I look at people and I laugh. I'm like, you can go get all the knowledge you want. It's still somebody's opinion. So you reflect that, you memorize these books and you this and you that, you're still being programmed by somebody else's thoughts versus utilizing your own to question it like, you know what? That don't make sense. So when I come to my mom, I'm like, "Hey mom, um he died on the cross and there was what, three wise men with him. But in Egypt, there's three stars that they also call the three wise men. Why is that?" He said, "You're going to lean on your own understanding and you're not going to force me to go against Christ, my God." And I'm like, but doesn't the sun within 3 days is at a certain peak? It, no, I'm not turning back for you. You a demon. I rebuke that. What? I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions. And if there is a higher power and somebody that create, why are we? This is the thing that I'm trying to figure out, right? This is the thing I'm trying to figure out. In Japan, right?
Mhm.
They say they grow out of their parents. Why are we the only individual in the Western civilization thinking that we were created? When you look in nature, everything grows, right? We can't walk outside and say, yo, the tree was created. Created by who? It grew from the earth.
Everything comes from the earth and everything evolves back into the earth.
That's what I'm saying.
unless unless you're going back in the casket,
You don't go back in the casket. They put you in the casket.
But you can't make a casket without the earth.
That's true.
You can't
And
make a car. Look, all three of us is in three different places. Look around you, fellas.
Hmm.
Look around you. Who's ever listening, look around you. Everything you see comes from the earth.
What do you mean,
Yeah,
Rich?
it's all energy.
And
Expound.
going back to the earth.
Gotta expound upon that. That don't make no sense. You're not making any
But,
sense.
and you know what else? According to scientists, uh, and they're now calling it panpsychism, but us indigenous people we call it animism. Everything has a spirit. That microphone you're talking into, that cell phone, it's all energy. It has a consciousness. It has a level of consciousness, a measure of consciousness. It is aware. It has awareness according to its own level of consciousness.
Do you know the mineral that's within your screen actually comes from the earth? And you have people that unfortunately within Africa that's dying to pretty much cultivate this mineral.
Yeah, coltan.
You know how many people
It's
die over that?
yeah, thousands a year.
We just take things for granted versus looking at it from a deeper perspective because we don't want to do the work. We want to point fingers at everybody else and we want to ingest it from everybody else. But if that's the circumstances, right? Why is it that everybody wants to be rich and no matter the blueprint you get, you will never be rich unless you step forth and do that work yourself?
But here's the thing about that: we're all programmed some way. All of us are
Absolutely.
programmed, and we are programmed since the beginning of time. Now that program can be good or bad. It's however our subconscious program that produces the output because we are basically walking computers. We have an input system and an output system.
What is
And
the
so,
proper place?
mhm,
What's the proper place for a program?
In the computer, a video game.
A computer, a path. Wherever there's a path needed, there's a program needed. But when it comes to love, when it comes to fellowship and companionship and compassion and seeing who you are and having direct perception instead of managed perception, I need to be programmed to finish college because I'm not gonna finish wise. I'm just gonna graduate. My diploma is basically my receipt from all the money you took from me, and I'm just gonna be parroting, just imitating. I'm not learning.
Oh man, you're triggering me, Rich, because I'm about to talk about the cap and tassel, how it actually balances out to 90 degrees and why does it have something to do with the Freemasons and so on. You're triggering me.
Don't don't forget, 90 degrees is not in the body and nature or universe. So everybody that's programmed must have a straight line in 90 degrees. You can't build a house without 90 degrees. But nature, there's nothing that's straight or 90 degree in nature. Everything is oblong, or that's what it just applies. It's from the minute to the
yeah.
enormous. Any vegetable that's completely round is man-made. A watermelon with seeds is oblong. A watermelon that's seedless is round.
Uh-huh.
Not even your body is actually straight. It's some stuff about you lean, like your one arm might be off a certain way versus next one. Like the way you even walk is unbalanced. Like it's it's beautiful.
It's life
It is
because
beautiful.
life order when something is in order, it's never static. It's a moving thing. When a straight line, that's why if you're straight line, if you're in the hospital and that thing goes straight, that means you're dead.
I just thought of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor said he heard that to go boom. He's like, I'm still I'm still here. I'm still. It's like I'm dead. No, no. to be honest, to be honest, guys, um, I'm not even gonna use the word sad. Like I don't even like to say wrong. I use the word unbalanced and balance. I don't believe in a evil per se. I just say it's off frequency or it's unbalanced. Um, just to sit here to do this, man, I came a long way. I too fell. I too,
How
and I'm
far have
still
you
a.
come?
I don't know. I, I don't know. I can't see the
I'm
back
gonna
of.
take my horse to the airport. Oh, sorry.
I can't. I can't see the back of my head. You can.
Yeah,
So you can.
yeah.
You can tell me what I can and what I and how far I am. But you know, you can tell me I haven't grown, but I can see my growth.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like a lot of people mirror things of self. A lot of people judge you because that judgment of self, you know, like, oh, you haven't changed. Yeah, the reason why you're saying I haven't changed is because you didn't change.
Hmm.
And you're hurting and you're just crying out for help, but you're pointing at me. Not knowing when you point at me, three fingers is pointing back at you. So live within your truth. Words, words can't affect you coming from somebody
Yeah.
else's mouth. You affect you. Whatever you're feeling, you allow it to affect you. And that's what it is.
And
Programming.
you're programmed just like a computer. If they say this, do that. If they say that, do that.
Oh
And you
man. And the ego, man. Whew. That defensive mechanism we create, we program to do certain things. It keeps us in line too, because man.
oh, you
Oh,
know what door you just opened, Jermaine? You know what you just explained? You know what you talk about defense. You talk about what's the ultimate programming? The military.
hmm.
You're gonna teach somebody that killing creates peace. You take somebody from the doorstep of their nice warm home with the nice yard and the nice parents, and you turn them into a killer.
Inception.
Hmm.
Killing creates peace.
The
And these
program within the
Marines in the
program.
soldier. You talk about a program. Just look at a drill sergeant. You talk about a
Yeah.
programmer. You
But
talk about, but when you're aware, you refuse to be programmed. Back in Napoleon's day, the reason why Napoleon had the greatest army, he would just take people off the street. You're in Napoleon's army. You don't have a job. You're in Napoleon's army. If they were marching to another city, they would just take somebody. Oh, you're homeless. You're in Napoleon's army. But the aware men, there was men that was aware, and they would just take you and brand you. And they just took one guy and branded him on the hand, and the man put his hand up against the tree and chopped his own hand off. He said, "Did you know what? I'm not going to
Yeah.
be programmed." That's how deep it is.
Yeah.
This is why we have this platform. We want the listeners, we want people to look deeply because to solve deep issues, you got to go deep. There's nothing deeper than being programmed. There's nothing deeper than the drill sergeants. When it comes to a programmer, all the programmers are in the military.
Hmm.
are they trying to come back right when they go through PTSD? That's them fighting the program, so the drugs keep them within the program.
The heart,
But
the heart is always pure. But if
Or
you
am I
feel
being
your heart,
insensitive?
well, look, your
it's
heart
always
is
here.
always telling you when you say to yourself, because people always ask me, how do I know? I always say, know the difference between the thought and the program and the heart. You got to know the difference between the voices.
Yeah.
The heart is normally the first voice. So when a person says, I shouldn't have done that, I should go back and apologize, that's normally the heart.
Which
But that's
shoulder
why
is that?
That's normally the heart, not the heart that's pumping the blood inside you, but that heart that's connected to the universe and nature and
So which shoulder I look at though?
what shoulder? Oh,
We're
you.
top board showing.
He's thinking about those movies with the angel and the devil on the shoulder.
You're programmed.
Stop watching that, buddy.
Hey, Rich, look, Rich, look. Look. What color? What color? What color? It's. I'm separating myself. Wait.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk him out of this program right here.
Oh man, what this? Yo, the yin and the yang. Ooh, it's a dark and a white side. What's going on? Nah, pay me no mind, guys. I'm just doing my job. I'm damn good at it.
You funny, bro.
But
funny.
Jermaine opened this door.
But, you know.
Look at the drill sergeant.
Yeah, he sure did.
Left,
right.
You're not leaving that camp unless you program. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely. My brothers tell me stories, man. And we have chop ups like this all the time among me and my brother Clayton. And he'd be like, every time we talk, most of the time, he'd be like, yo, this shit is whack, man. He'd be like, I see what they're trying to do, but it's not working. He's an Aquarius too. So I wonder why. Shaman.
Yeah, but Jermaine, the heart is always trying to create order. That's why most people that went through military training wind up being alcoholics. That's the tug of war.
Really?
That's the tug of war within.
That's ignorant.
But still, you're having a tug of war. You're not built to be programmed like this, but you got to do it. You're in this institution now. You're in this programming camp. It's just like the woman that's a stripper that needs the money. She's not a slut. She's not a hoe. She don't want to take her clothes off and degrade herself, but she needs the money, so she gets high to do it.
So does she deal with the consequences that comes when I see her outside and I recognize her?
They'd be like, "That's Jermaine, my best customer." No.
Yes, you're right. Like, he does a good job.
Hey, funny thing is, go ahead, King.
But you know what? And this is why a lot of some soldiers, when they finish their tours and they experience warfare or they have PTSD, they would take drugs or psychedelics. Now, they'll take drugs to numb the pain, but some would take psychedelics to end the pain. And so there have been stories where you have soldiers literally take like peyote or ayahuasca and their PTSD disappears because their heart, like Brother Rich was saying, there's a tug of war within. Their heart literally melts away all that desensitization, all that nonsense that's produced by war. It melts it away. So now they can be human. They can be human again. You know, a loud noise goes off, and they're not ready to fight and kill somebody. You know, that's PTSD. It's not for all of us, but for many of us, that's what goes through.
It's funny you mentioned that because I work with one. He's Caucasian, and he was breaking down his story to me. He said at one point, because he was in the Marines, at one point they had him on $8,000 worth of medications.
Facts.
And he said it didn't help. It kept them psyched up. It kept them hyped. Like the smallest. Yeah. He said, you know what calms me down? He said, I have to roll up a Bob Marley every single day.
Yep.
And balance out. Like you even see people on Parkinson's, bro, like shaking as soon as they hit the spliff. And this is not a advertisement for spliff, but dude hit it and the shaking stops. It's
because God always comes through. Let me tell you something. When when they give you those medicines, that codeine and Depakote, all those things that they give psych patients, the PTSD medicines, they give you these things. It'll numb you. It'll get you wild up and going, but you're not thinking about hurting anything. That is counterproductive. That's why a lot of people who have PTSD go jump off a cliff. But when they take psychedelics, all that changes because they're able to think straight. If they're on cannabis, they're able to relax. If they're meditating, meditation also helps with PTSD. Now, thank God I don't have it like like a lot of these soldiers. That's really bad. Like I knew a brother who was a soldier. He did like 3 4 tours in Iraq, and just by looking at him wrong, he thinks you're Taliban, but about to go out there and scalp him because the
Wow.
heart, like Rich said, it's not war is not natural. I don't care. War is not natural. We're not made to war. In many cases, it's necessary, but we're not made to go to war. We're made to love each other. But due to circumstances, due to systems put in place, due to evil people, we war. That's why certain cultures, like in ancient Israel, do you know what they did to their soldiers after Israelites came home from war? They would keep them outside of the camp for 3 4 days, and while they're outside of the camp, they are meditating, being around fire gazing, to get their minds back into normal human consciousness. Because you can't bring a soldier home and expect him to operate correctly. You can't take a young black kid out of the projects and expect him to operate correctly. Thank God I had a mentor. Because if I didn't have a mentor, I'd probably be acting crazy. But I had a mentor who was that fresh air for me while I grew up in the projects. So we thank God for that.
But look at this though.
Hmm.
Even if you're outside, right? You going to school. You're still in an institution, right? Jail is an institution, right?
Yeah.
What do you do in jail? They tell you when to wake up. They tell you when to go to the yard. They tell you when to eat. School,
Hmm.
jail. Pay attention.
But
They tell you
yeah.
when to wake up. They tell you when to eat. They tell you when to go play. They tell you when it's lockdown. School.
Hmm.
They tell you when to eat. They tell you when to play. They work you for 8 hours a day, right? They
Yeah.
lock you down until you go to rest. It's the same thing. It's no difference.
It's
It's
still a
Fact.
program. It's
that's
still a program.
exactly. It's you're in a box. You live in a box. You drive a box. You eat out of a box.
What is the box? What
Yeah.
it's 290-degree angles, right?
It's a program. Yeah,
But
A
now it's
box,
still
a
white.
box. What is the box? A box is four straight lines, right?
exactly.
That's
Your
why they call it a cell block.
your tassel.
But
Your tassel. Yeah, and hat. Yeah, it's the same thing. You get a degree. You cut it in 90-degree angles. Like, bro, come on, bro.
fact.
People don't protest against war because that's why they have society in the military. Even if you're not in the military, you got to get up and go to work. You got to listen to as soon as you punch the clock, you walk into a dictatorship. I don't care
Yeah.
what kind of job you. If you work in a job, as soon as you punch that clock, as soon as you punch in, you walk into a dictatorship. You're a grown man. Oh, I got a good job. No, you have a good program.
He got a good program.
Yo,
what's the program today? Work.
yo, I'm better than him because I got this, and that. Oh no, you got a better program.
You got a better program. You
Oh,
ain't got a better job. You got a
I'm on a
program.
diet. I'm getting my protein. No, you got a good program.
Oh man, what kind of job you do? You mean what kind of program I do?
Yeah.
Oh no, what kind of food you eat? Oh, what kind of shows you watch? Oh, you got a good program.
They call
Yo,
it a TV program, don't they?
we're making fun of this, but this shit is serious.
It's very serious. It is
This is
deep.
serious. We're making light of it, but this is serious, man. Like, just stop, absorb yourself. Like, Sham, you were making fun of the girl today. What did she say? Eventually would evaporate.
Oh yeah, but yeah, North Carolina, the flood's going to evaporate them all.
But you're laughing. But she
That
weren't.
was hilarious.
She wasn't incorrect.
Oh, she was dead ass, bro.
She was dead ass. But you were laughing at her.
It's hilarious.
Now that we're doing this program, right?
Mhm.
Sit back and think about what she said.
She said
When you
evaporate.
die, when you die, what happened? Where do you go?
It depends on how you die. See, I mean, come on. That's a rabbit hole, bro. Come on, I don't know. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole, bro.
Rich, why does he think I'm trying to set him up? He's saying that's a rabbit hole. I want you to think outside of thinking, bro. Like,
Bro, so I mean,
it
was
was
funny.
hilarious.
You can't. There is no storm that can evaporate a human body unless it's like some kind of lava volcano type storm where you disintegrate.
That's
But
not
she wasn't describing that.
yeah, that's not the point though. See,
We are top boat.
there's a title. We put a title on everything. But to
Yeah.
sum it up in a nutshell, we're conditioned. We're all programmed, right? And we sit here and we
Yeah.
find fault with the next man's programming when we're on a higher level of programming. Earlier, you said we're
Hmm.
all programmed. Some is on a
Yeah.
higher
Some way.
level than some. But does it make a difference? Is any sin greater than any sin?
Yeah. There are.
Who's to say any sin is greater than any sin? It's a perception, right? It's based on our programming.
Not really.
Rich, help me out here.
No, but no. Seriously, I like
There is no
since
sin greater than any sin, bro. It's just a sin. If you, and whichever way you look at it, if
you can tell a level of the sin by the punishment it gives. So
well, who's
everybody
judging?
treat.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody is judging. There's a condition attached to it.
But, well,
Take away that
somebody
condition. Doesn't make a difference.
somebody judging, but that's nothing to argue. It's natural.
No, it's not an argument.
No, I don't mean it in that way. But yes, I know we're not arguing. I'm just speaking like in normal ways. That's nothing to refute because it is natural to be taught by a human being. It is natural to create these systems, right? And so you can go back 25,000 years into the past. Murder will always be a sin higher than thievery.
Fam, listen to
Always.
what I'm saying. And here we're gonna go. Here what it is. This is the point I'm trying to make. I understand everything you're saying. You're absolutely correct. And I'm being an antagonist. But what I'm saying is picture me being somebody that's not on the frequency that you're on, right? These are things that they look at and these are things they question. How do you know something is? How do you know something is hard? Your skin is soft, so therefore you have to put your skin up against it. You have to feel it in order to know that it's hard, right? Goes back to the tree in the forest. If it falls, if you're not there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Of course, it makes a sound.
Yeah, but
Absolutely, but there's no
yeah.
sound if there's not something there to receive it.
No, that's not true.
It is true. Who's the
No,
wit? Listen to hear my point.
no,
Who,
peace.
no. Who's witnessing it though?
It doesn't need a witness.
Nobody has to witness, bro.
Nobody has to witness.
Fam, the point I'm making is this, right? How can you hear if there's no sound going through your ear for you to hear?
Okay, but you are describing two different things.
No, it's
If you-
not. You cannot witness
if you-
sound if you don't hear it.
Yeah, but you're
but-
not in Tanzania right now, but Tanzania is existing.
I get that. I get that. But everything
Right.
you encounter is an experience, right?
No. If there's an experience, who's the experiencer?
That's my point.
Right.
So you're saying it, and I'm looking at this is a thing called this live is called programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're on a higher frequency. Somebody else is down here. We're all programmed. Charmin stated it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're all programmed. Unless a person is going to look at you like, what makes you better than me? Right? It's not that you're looking at them like you're better than them. It's just you're on a different frequency. So I won't know what hard is unless I put my skin up to it. I don't know what the sun. I don't know what the sun is. I don't know what the glisten of the sun is unless I see it. You guys mention all of this within everything that we speak about. You said you started experiencing the sun. So you looking at things from a different perspective, you're gonna analyze it different.
No, but the sun was always there. It's just like if the tree falls in the forest and you're not there, right? You have to look at the fact of life. So that's why you can't depend on somebody. You can't get to God through a middleman. You can't depend on somebody's story. You have to know the facts of nature, how it communicates.
But you're making my point for me, Rich.
No, I'm not, because this is where your point falls. Because where there's movement, there is contact, and where there's contact, there is sound.
Rich,
Exactly.
who is experiencing the sound, Rich?
Jermaine, I'm not sure if you see, we understand what you're saying, okay? We understand exactly what you're saying, but we're trying to, okay, your point is, okay, if the tree falls, how can there be sound if there is no one to say, hey, you heard that? That's not required to know that if that heavy as 100-ton tree smacks the ground, that it's not going to make some kind of. I mean, do you really think that it's going to be tiptoed on the ground? No, I don't need to be in Saudi Arabia to know that at 12 o'clock, at 12 noon, they're not going to be in their mosque talking about Allah.
The reason why
I don't have to experience or hear them.
The reason why
I know they're doing it. It's fact.
The reason why you know that tree still make a sound and we know that tree still make a sound because we were taught that way. We were programmed that way.
It's physics. It's physics, bro.
Says who? Who told you it was physics?
Experience.
What? What'd you just say?
No,
experience.
not experience.
No. What I mean by that is
the movement of nature.
Right. But what I mean by that is when I say experience, we've all heard sound. That's what I mean. Like we all heard sound. I don't mean experience like, okay, you gotta be in the forest to hear the tree fall and it's gonna make a noise.
I get that. I get that. But if there's no hair to hear it, we know it makes a noise. But if you're not there to witness it, there's always a witness. There's a witness in.
You just killed You just killed your own argument. Case
No, I,
closed.
no, I didn't. No,
You
I didn't.
literally just killed your own argument.
No,
You
I
said
didn't.
we know there's a noise. You know there is a noise. Argument is done. You just killed it, bro.
You're still trying to done the argument instead of staying on what I'm saying. It's not about killing the argument.
I mean, bro, you just killed it. You literally just killed it, bro.
We know there's a sound, right?
Yeah, but wait. Time
just-
out, Jermaine. Are you saying, Jermaine, that nothing happens unless you're there? If I didn't watch the Super Bowl, does that mean it didn't happen?
That's an asinine statement, and that's not what I'm
No.
saying.
But what are you saying though? You said
That's
if you're
not
not there, there's no sound. You said you're not
That's
there,
not
there's
what
no
I'm
sound.
saying. Go,
What you saying?
go,
What you saying, bro?
go beyond that. I know the tree is not going to tiptoe onto the ground, right?
Okay.
You're trying to get people to think outside of themselves, right? Think outside of the programming, right?
Okay.
How do you know something is soft? How do you know something is
okay.
hard?
Okay, you're gonna have to
What do that mean?
like,
How do you know I'm talking right now? Because you see my lips moving, or because you're hearing me?
brother. Okay, this is what I would like you to do. I want you to really sit there and think about exactly what you just said.
Bro,
You
y'all trying
just
to
said-
look what y'all doing.
No,
y'all
no,
trying to convince me, right?
No.
Hey.
It's not a convince. I want you to hear yourself. I mean, I'm a
You don't-
logical guy. I'm very logical. So if I tell you, well, I know there is a sound, but that literally just kills your own argument, bro. Literally, because I mean, and hear me out. Hear me out. If you are trying to make the argument that sound needs a witness, you logically cannot claim that there is a sound in spite of.
It's
It's
fine, man. I'm
pure-
just doing
it's
I'm doing
pure-
my job, buddy. It's fine.
pure logic, bro. Like
Fam,
I'm not-
I'm doing my job, fam.
I
I
know.
just bait you guys into like 10 minutes of arguing with me.
He's doing the lawyer on it. He's doing the lawyer on it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. Hey,
We know there's a sound, right?
Grab her. No.
How
yeah.
do we know that there's a sound? Because somebody told us there's a sound.
Okay.
Science taught us that if something falls, it's gonna make a sound.
You know what?
If-
You know what? Really? You know what? You know what Jermaine is proving? What Jermaine is really proving to us, Shaman? He's
Yeah.
proving that what he's doing is programming. When anybody tells you anything, you're in a program.
You're in a program. Yeah.
Unless
Don't
you
you-
see it for yourself.
Shaman
You-
wanna fight me though.
What a fight!
He's like, brother, you just killed your own argument.
Yeah, my bad.
And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, watch me set him up to see how long he can actually try to go against me with this.
There you go, man. You are talking to an Aquarius in the year of Aquarius.
But
Trying to play
we
like
just
that.
go back to many statements that we indicated, right? See, even the television was programmed to shut off with no
Yeah.
activity.
Shit, if that happened, it's a ghost in this motherfucker, boy. I don't know about that.
Do y'all remember when TV used to go off at like 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yep, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, exactly.
And then it stayed on to like 4 o'clock in the morning for the late show. They was setting us up for the computers and cell phones way back then.
And then they created a catastrophic event, right, to implement it.
Nah, they just literally, like, I mean, think about it. Did they create an event to introduce DVD? Not at all. Or how about the cloud? Nope. They just phased it out.
They phased it out, but they always phased it out with something happens.
Like,
I
what?
remember. I
What
remember
happened
laughing
when,
at it.
like, what
Well,
happened, like, what happened for the DVD to come out? Nothing
Wasn't
had
there?
dropped.
Wasn't there? Why was it? What Y2K when
Nope,
everything was
never.
shutting off? When was it?
It
What was
didn't
it?
happen. It's supposed to be 2000, but it didn't happen.
Says that pastor that was loading up everybody on a certain plantation and
Facts.
buying up certain things, and certain things was happening, and there was a blackout. I was in New York. There was actually a blackout for like a whole week straight.
In New York, but where I was, we was good. Oh no. But
but
where I
look
was, we
Does
was
it?
all
look at the
good in
deep
2000, bro.
look at the deep sea dive. If
Uh huh.
at one time we knew each other's phone numbers. If they cut off all the cell phones, nobody can remember the important numbers to call when it comes to their friends and family.
True.
At one
True.
time, you had to memorize a number.
That's
At one
true.
time, I used to laugh at people in the supermarket on the phone. I remember this. Laughing at somebody in the supermarket on the phone. 1992, 3:14 p.m.
How did they phase out? How did they phase out the beeper?
in Lower Manhattan. Somebody, the Midtown
Right.
Manhattan. I used to laugh at it. Now people say they're going to put a chip in your hand. They're going to put a chip in your hand. Oh, ain't nobody going to put no chip in me. But you're walking around with the chip already.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And Jermaine, to answer your question about the beeper, the military industrial complex, they had all these things, and the way they introduced it was through movies. So once they put the cell phone and all that into the movies, people start saying, "I want that." That's saying, bye bye beeper. The movie is the indicator. Movies. I studied film for a year. Movies are the indicators to what's coming next.
Yes. Isn't that funny, Shaman? The beast tells you how to kill it and what it's doing. It's like playing games with you.
I tell you, man. Hey,
Hey, you said what's next? You never saw what's that show called on Netflix? It's called where dude tap his eye and he could play back all his memories. There ain't gonna be no more TV no more. Everything's gonna be in here.
yeah, yeah, and also you have to watch the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp, where he transferred his consciousness
Into the
and
AI.
downloaded it into AI. Uh huh. And also in the video game Metal Gear Solid, where the soldiers, like, there was like the soldiers was connected to a computer system, to where as though they can program you from the fucking battlefield. Like, if they need you, if they need your adrenaline to continue to pump in your body to fight these wars, they just press three buttons and boom, you just start charging up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting sick out there.
Raiden started out as a human, right?
Yep, riding with, and now he's a
And now
liquid
he's
cyborg.
augmented, like his metal
Meta,
and all
yeah,
of that. Yeah, bro.
that's
Like,
crazy, yo.
you don't think they're doing that in real life?
Oh, they
In
already have it. Yeah,
reality?
yeah, they already have it. They have it in the special access programs that only presidents have access to.
Hey, Adija was in the comment laughing at us. She was
Oh,
laughing about my commentary when you were arguing with me about the tree falling.
oh, 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 yeah.
Oh man. I think
I'm
I
all,
think
I'm crying, bro.
I'm getting too good at this. But if I could sit here and throw Shaman off his square for like 10 minutes, I'm good at this. Aquaman stayed deep diving. He wasn't even peeping what was going on. Then Rich was falling for it too. When 30 minutes early in the live, he's like, I told him I was gonna be an antagonist.
Yeah,
Hey
No,
man.
you seem.
Candied up today, boy. I'm gonna get you a brownie and calm you down.
Jermaine was fool. Jermaine Shaman. Jermaine was fooling himself. He started
Hey,
to
But
he started to try
yeah,
to win the argument at one point. It's like, hey, wait a minute, it's supposed to be a setup. Set my
hey,
own self up.
hey,
yeah,
this
you
shit.
saw that, huh?
Hey, that
You
shit
saw
got
that,
real
huh?
for that shit got real for a second.
But-
It got real for a second. I was like, wait, what's going on? Then I came back to rehab.
yeah.
He asked the question. He was like, "So, what are you saying? Somebody has to be around to whatever?" And I caught like, "Wait, I'm not answering that. Like, did I go undercover that damn long? Like, shit, I'm not answering." But hey, I already look like an ass, so it's cool.
A what? Is it a
An
is it a
an
fat ass or
ass.
it's a skinny ass?
No,
Nah,
donkey from Trek.
he's talking about an asset to the platform.
Donkey
Yes he
from
is. But yes he
Donkey
is.
from Shrek.
Yeah.
Am I
And
living
you
a
see
lie?
and you see how we're doing it, Jermaine. How we sat there and Richard threw a couple jabs. I came with an uppercut. You ducked and came with an uppercut, and we just turned back and say, "Hey, how's life?"
Yeah, I was coming at me, bro. Like for a second there, I was gonna get up. Like, what's going on here?
We
Hey,
had
guys,
to come
go
out of the
ahead.
program.
Go ahead, Rich.
It's so this chip program that's going to be in your hand. This cell phone we're walking around with. This cell phone we're walking around with is a dangerous thing when it comes to programming. We really got to be careful with it because now when you go buy a cell phone now, it's like buying a car. You got to lease it, insurance.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My screen is cracked. Get so much to switch it out.
You ever
And I
notice it start to be just like a vehicle?
yeah, and you can if say you owe money on that one, you want to get a new one. Not only do you got to put money down, but
Yeah.
the whatever you owe on the old one get transferred over to the new one.
It's to the point you can't even have a job or your own business without it. It's becoming too important. We're becoming too programmed. You know what? We're so programmed. You see how we let things get too important for us and we get too far gone that we gotta now we're serving it instead of it serving us.
But look at this program, Rich. Look at this program. Pay attention to your screen. How many shamans you just saw?
But look.
This shit is funny.
Do you remember Jermaine? Jermaine's such a young buck. He don't remember. He wouldn't know how to use a push button phone.
A what? You talking about them big joints?
Yeah.
Or the one that you turn? You got to put
Oh,
your number in each
Well,
your finger in
you don't.
each
You don't
letter and
remember
turn it
those,
up.
Jermaine. You don't
What?
remember those.
I was in Jamaica using those. What are you talking about?
Oh, you was using those where you had to turn and wait for the 9 to come all the way back around. You'd be dead by the time you got.
Yes. I used to prank call. What do y'all know about actual AOL with the dial up?
Those roller. Man, I was born 200 years ago. I know all about that.
But look, when somebody gives you a good message, when we had to pick up the phone, right? They did this test with these kids that was born in the 2000s. They put a phone out there, a push button and a rotary. You know what they were doing? They were dialing the number and then picking the phone up.
Hey yo.
But back in the
Hey,
day,
yo.
I used to tell the young kids, I said, when we got a good message on the phone, we respected the messenger. We didn't worship the phone.
Oh wow! Now they don't worship. They don't.
They
They
worship the phone. They don't care what you say no more.
they diss the messenger. They judge the messenger.
You are programmed. This phone is more important. If you leave the house and you left your phone, and would you go back and get your wallet?
Hell no! You
Yeah.
go back and get the phone,
What's more important, your phone or your wallet?
your wallet.
But what are you maddest at if you leave your wallet at home and your phone? There's no money in your wallet. Oh, you still carry cash, Jermaine? I don't carry any cash.
I think I could go in my wallet and find cash. I really don't carry cash. I keep card on me.
But you don't pay through your phone, like through iPhone wallet, none of that?
Oh, hell no. I don't trust that shit. No. I don't trust that shit. I've seen dudes walking around with computers. All they have to do is come close to your joint to take your money off you. No, I don't trust that crap.
Well, what if somebody mug you? It's the same thing.
They mug me, take the card. As soon as you mug me, I could call the bank and tell them to freeze it.
So you think somebody's just gonna hack you, bump into you and hack you?
They can do that. My brother went to a QT gas station. When he slid his card into the thing, it didn't go through. You see, by the time he went home, he got hit up for $600. And they were still spending. He had to freeze his card.
Wow.
Well, whatever they make, it's always going to be some type of loophole, some criminal going to be able to, That's another topic for another live.
Here's Jermaine. Here Jermaine go again. What do you mean criminal? Is he really a criminal, or they didn't? Is he really a criminal? Or they did not give him a way to eat, so he's actually eating.
What? What are you talking about?
They didn't give him a means to an end, so he's finding it by taking it from you, regardless if he mirrors you and his complexion matches.
Which means
yours.
what? Which means there is no good or evil.
He's not a criminal. He's trying to survive.
Look how he's talking.
Yeah, he's an agent.
He whispering and shit like it's the damn.
See, he's CIA up in here. Let me find out.
I'm double. You see it?
He up here like, what if
both sides.
He's whispering like, what if it's this? What if it's?
Play both sides.
Hey, Rich, he's trying to get us off the hook, man. We gotta defend ourselves, man.
Nah, he's trying to create a whole new show, like
the men's mental deck.
The mental roller deck.
Nah, it's the mental roller sketch. Yeah, guys.
The hell was that? Sounds like somebody growling.
That was Rich, B. He got all the activities in the background, playing with his piano, his saxophone, his xylophone. See? Hey, but
yeah.
Hey, on this live, we got our own studio.
There we go.
Nice. But to conclude everything, guys, give me your summarization on what we just spoke upon and all that you just experienced.
Oh, you just spoke upon. Well.
Oh shit! You guys are still talking?
Yeah.
Come on, close it. Close it.
Play a song for
Rich.
Play a song for Jermaine Shenanigans.
Rich, send us off, please. Send us off. We're gonna leave you guys with some beautiful music by Rich Lamar.
Uh-oh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Y'all want to clap? Oh, Shaman gonna sing?
Yeah.
No, I don't sing.
Let me see if I can do it.
Jermaine the Young Buck, you know this?
If you were mine and I was yours.
Oh yeah.
Let's deep. See that?
Let's yeah.
Do reprogram ourselves. And if you can't do it by yourself,
let this be a minute.
Go out and get help.
Oh yeah.
Programmed.
So programmed.
Don't be programmed.
Program.
Society
Hold
got you
on.
fixated. We drive a box and walk in the box. We see this pretty girl, we thinking she hot. Then again, turn around and call her a thought. Cause we program.
Oh, yeah.
We are live, baby.
As round the sun, the earth knows she's revolving.
Woo!
The rosebuds know to bloom in early May.
Damn, Rich, you sound kind of good.
No love's the cure. You can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always.
Woo.
Yep.
And that's the live, y'all.
It's a
All right.
wrap.
It's a Reezy, guys.